Hi Negisti, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Yaron?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Maybe for our viewers, you can very briefly introduce yourself. I will also put links to the videos about Yenege Tesfa and the interview that we made with you if they want a lot more information. But very
Yeah.
quickly, who are you and what is your role in and what is Yenege Tesfa?
My name is Nigisti. I'm the founder and manager of Yenege Tesfa. So Yenege Tesfa is local NGO. We are working in Gondar, Dawark, and Semi Mountain right now. We have different activities. Let's say we have different programs. We are working in education. We have home for children. We are also working in agriculture for single mothers, and also we are working on medical support. So this is a kind of like briefly who Yenege Tesfa is.
Yeah. Working with street kids
Yes,
in the area of Gondar
single.
in Ethiopia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How is it has it been going the last weeks with the whole COVID situation?
Mm. Uh, it's really not easy because we had to some of the projects we have to stop because they are some of them are kind of like we have training project. So
Hmm.
as we cannot gather people, we had to stop that, and we are working in a limited limited activities right now. But we are also involving in supporting and working on awareness creation on COVID-19, and we work with the government, and we are trying to create awareness on the community to prevent themselves from the from coronavirus. But it's really scary. I mean, our community is very close to each other, so it's really difficult to make a distance between people and to really get the prevention side on people's minds. So it's
Hmm.
really difficult, and
Hmm.
we are very scared because right now we don't have much. I mean, it's not. Let's say we didn't report it, not reported, but we didn't check much people.
Hmm.
So we have very less number of people who have confirmed with the
There
coronavirus.
have not been many tests, maybe.
Yeah, if we have going to do the test, I think it will be all over. I mean, it's mostly it's already in the community
Hmm.
because we have a case that people who have the coronavirus, they don't have abroad like traveling history or an history with communication with the people who have the disease already, so
Hmm.
they don't know from where they get the virus.
Hmm.
So this is very scary, and this is very we are very worried about this. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine. How are the
Yeah.
children coping in the houses?
It's really not. I mean, it's very not easy for them too because there is no school, and they are in lockdown for long time. They are not allowed to go outside, and then but we are trying to put like some kind of activity inside the house. I mean, inside the compound, of course.
Hmm.
Kind of like a garden. They can work on the vegetables and some gardening and something. But yeah,
Are the
I
schools
mean, this is
still
the
open? Can they go
only.
to school?
No,
Schools are
school is
closed, huh?
closed.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like
long
here.
time ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
it's so complicated.
do they get some homeschooling? Do they get some
Yeah,
access? Yeah.
yeah. This time, some of the schools they are trying to send like some documents from to home to
Hmm.
the kids, so they can read at home, and they can hopefully they said if things are getting better, they can take the test.
Hmm.
So they are studying at home. We are also supporting them with a different kind of materials. Also, we are giving them. But I mean, closing down in the house like 24/7 is really not easy for the kids, but that's the only thing they can do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not easy. And how are the kids that are still on the street or in other families? It's a little bit
Yeah,
similar.
yeah, we still have children on the street.
Hmm.
The government tried to send them back to their houses, to some of them,
Hmm.
but it's not successful because they have already problem at home and they come back. And then they try to put kind of camp, like a camp in the
Hmm.
school, so they can stay in the camp, and then they can give them food and everything. But it wasn't like like prepared.
Hmm.
So some of them are already left the school and they are already in the streets. So that's also a big burden. It's really difficult, and you don't know like how you can to tell them to prevent from this virus because they have many demand. They don't have place to sleep. They don't have any materials. They don't have any hygienic materials, or they don't have any mask and
Hmm.
everything. And telling them be careful, it doesn't make sense. So that's also a very complicated side.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, yeah.
Oops. Um, okay, and how about the staff, the Yenege Tesfa staff, and how are you organizing the activities today?
Um, we are okay. I mean, we are trying to be careful, but I most of the activities that I told you before,
Hmm.
the like the activities being negative for some of them we have to freeze them. We are kind of like stop working on them. So many of our staff are working on the coronavirus. So
Yeah.
they are going outside and trying to touch people, and involving also like hand washing, or teaching it to people about distancing. And it's kind of like that we are very engaged on the current issue.
Mm. Mm.
So yeah,
Yeah. So you've kind of had to stop many of the regular activities, and you're now
yeah,
focusing on prevention and
yeah,
awareness around the coronavirus.
yeah,
Uh, uh.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And how is the overall economic situation evolving?
uh hmm it's, I mean, we don't feel it yet. I mean, we feel it a little bit, but I think for the future it will be very, very bad for
Hmm.
everyone because now we have like a kind of like command. Yeah, it's not like, yeah, kind of like command post. So they, if there is someone who's selling something expensive, and they take them to court.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like they're trying to put it like really stable. But we have so many people who've been working as daily laborers and working in the cafes or things like that. So now the business owners, they have to reduce the people,
Hmm.
and there are many people who doesn't have a job.
Mm.
And if you don't have a job, then you cannot afford to buy even your food.
Yeah.
So that's a kind of like really difficult part.
Uh,
But I'm sure we will feel it like for, I think very soon about
uh,
the economical problem too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar here, of course, on a different scale, but the economic activity is being reduced to or was almost reduced to zero,
Yeah.
with some companies still being able to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Now the economy is slowly starting to start again. Schools have
Mm-hmm.
been opening, yeah, in a limited way. And now we're talking about reopening also the hotels and the cafes and the restaurants
Yeah.
in a few weeks. but it's
Yeah.
been indeed. And if you're still early in that curve, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We are open. Like everything is open now. The
Hmm.
only thing is they just put like a limitation on transportation.
Hmm.
So in a tuk-tuk, you cannot go with three people as before. So
Hmm.
you have to use like one person in one tuk-tuk,
Okay. Yeah.
but you pay for extra two people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So also another problem because there is
Yeah.
no people doesn't have money then
Transport
one
becomes
way.
a lot
Like,
more expensive.
yeah,
Uh,
the travel that we've been paying for two per now we are paying like six per.
yeah.
Most of people are walking, which is
Yeah.
healthy, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's also difficult for the people who are working as a driver on the
Uh,
tuk-tuk too.
uh, uh,
And the
uh,
taxi also, they get it from 14 to 8 people.
mhm,
And so you pay double and
mhm,
things like that.
mhm,
But
mhm.
yeah,
Mm. From our sides, most of the viewers of this video will know that I work for 13 Star, which is one of your sponsor organizations,
yeah.
together with Nocisa, Embrace Foundation, and what's the fourth one?
Uh, Caprio Kindred.
Exactly. Capriolkinderen from Opwijk. We are
Yeah,
on top of some other international sponsors. We are
yeah,
trying to fund the working of Yenege Tesfa.
yeah.
And also for this, we feel the difficulty of the coronavirus situation because, for example,
Of course.
uh,
Yeah.
we had a big running event where people let themselves sponsor for the charity. But of
Mm-hmm.
course, it's a mass run, and we have it has been cancelled or postponed. At the same time, we have found an alternative. We are virtually coming to Gondar from
Yeah,
Brussels.
yeah,
It's 7,700 kilometers. People can register the distance that they do, and
yeah.
we add it up at our website.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and of course, the idea is that people ask others to sponsor them, so we
Mm-hmm.
can hopefully keep our funding at the same level as last year.
Yeah,
Um,
that would be good.
but yeah, it would be good.
Yeah,
We have to be creative in these challenging times, I would say.
of course, I can
Yeah.
imagine.
All
Yeah,
right. I think we're going to leave it for this week. The
yeah,
idea of this video is that we do this regular conversation with you, or maybe you can bring someone from the staff from now and then, or
yeah,
someone else.
sure.
I will try to talk about the issues going on in Ethiopia, in Gondar, and specifically with Yenege Tesfa, and
Yeah,
also with you.
yeah.
Maybe from time to
Also,
time we can also bring in someone else from the sponsors.
yeah, that would be good.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have anything to
perfect.
add, Nigisti?
No. I hope for next week we'll be healthy again as we are
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I hope nothing will happen to us.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'll talk to you. We'll see you next week and be safe.
Okay. We'll do that.
Okay.